Hi Trish, it's Robin. I have your design open in your two different palettes, and I think you've got some interesting things starting to happen here, Trish. Your palettes, though, are very muted, and actually both of them are very muted. So I want you to understand that because there's so much white in this palette that you're really kind of leaning on the this is not this is a high key interval because of all the white, but there's kind of a similarity to these, and the reason for that is because of how desaturated your colors are. So you want to be aware of that. Your assignment for the previous, assignment number 3, all 4 of your intervals were pretty desaturated. So consequently, you're not going to get much contrast when you go that route. And for some designs that might be fine, but for this one, not only do you not have much contrast, but also your design is somewhat similar and a little bit flat, and so there just isn't quite as much sort of visual interest, either color-wise or design-wise. So we don't really have much of a focal point here, and you're kind of repeating the same shape, just kind of getting slightly smaller. So I would urge you to go back into this one. I think you can get more out of it. I think there's, kind of more to be, sort of explored with the circular prompt. Look at some of your peers. There's some wonderful, work that some of your peers have done. You might want to look at James, Caitlin, Frank, Lisa, Deanna, Amanda. They did some very strong work. So I'd like to see you sort of see what you can do to challenge yourself more with the designs. Remember that there is online tutoring available if you are struggling with certain aspects of the software, but I don't get that sense. I mean, you're doing pretty well software-wise, but what I do want you to be aware of is that we are, really going to now start to pay attention to these design principles that we're covering in each lecture and each week, in addition to the color. So now that everybody kind of has a good sense of how to build a digital palette, some of the basics of color, you're gonna be building, slightly more complex palettes, but now we're really going to look for the designs to really come alive. So if you have the time, I'd strongly suggest you go back into this one. You met the very basics of the assignment, but I do think you could get more out of it. Okay, so thanks, Trish. Let me know if you have questions.